Today's been a great day. Um,
It has been a very blessed day, and um, learning day. It has been a very learned day.
it learn it day.
Right.
That's a whole word.
Mhm.
Like that. That's the proper past tense.
Mhm.
And then future perfect tense of the word too. Um,
Coach, I used to read the dictionary and the thesaurus. Still
in
kind of do.
my previous life, I was a taskmaster. Um, but you can kind of tell because I take no tolerance to the enemy. I wanted to talk about the power of words on tonight. I know we use suppression, and so we've been evolving, trying to, from that word of the connotation of Jay having a small vocabulary. And though I graduated from high school, my 12th grade year before May with a GED. I would go on to fail in 3 different colleges and universities until I came to my last one, which is right here at the great Huntsville Bible College. I've been through school my entire life. I started at the age of 2 and stopped just shy of 27, 26, and still in all of that of the world, I learned words but didn't know the word. I think the problem was, I think the problem is, I think the problem that we face in the world is that people have too much information and not enough influence from the word. And when we can understand that the enemy is after our voice, and so he'll get into the manipulation of the world so that we'll be influenced by everything that we hear, that we can never be able to see what the word is in practicality. The problem, I think, is one that can be fixed. Is one of bringing yourself to a, yes, suppressed place, but a evolving place where I know that sometimes God requires my speech to be selective. God makes me stammer in my speech. Therefore, I am Moses. I stutter. I think when we talk about the Egyptians, we talk about the Israelites who are called, destined, they're chosen. They are directly from the seed of, the heir of, and the hands of God. But when they come to a place of wanting to serve themselves, they sell themselves into captivity, but never read the fine print of the contract that they give up their land to be slaves. And so somewhere along the line, God has to rescue them. But see who he does it through Moses. He's a Hebrew, but he's abandoned. He is among them, but he don't look like them. And so when he comes to the place where he's set free from the kingdom, it's because of a fight between an Egyptian and a Hebrew. And he identifies with people he wasn't raised with, he didn't grow up to be with, but he knew in identity that I have to be true to me. And so he slays the Egyptian and then saves people who look like him. And I got to tell you on tonight, at the end of the day, you have to be a believer. Not a black believer, not a white believer, not a 3-year saved believer. You just have to be a believer. Well, I'll defend anybody connected to me off of the belief that God can save anybody just like he saved me. Will we not become selective in our salvific grace of giving it because we weren't able to give it to ourselves, nor can we obtain it for, keep it from anybody else? He sets the man free by not killing him, and then he runs away. And it's not until God calls him back to go to Egypt to free the people who were serving him that he runs into a confrontation with his mouth because he can't say the words. So he's tongue-tied, he's speech squeezed, he's choked out. Why was it not a problem all the way when you're living in oppression, but when you get freedom, you can't speak to everybody else who was serving you, helped you out, helped you get free, that they can be free? You begin to stutter and stumble when we talk about everybody else's freedom, how you should compliment them, when you should give to them, when you should help them. You stumble on that, but then the whole time they're serving you, they're pushing you, they're building you, is that we can speak freely then.
So it's one of those, when I'm speaking, or when we speak in BS, I don't worry about how I talk because I don't have a problem. But when I'm speaking the word, when I'm speaking truth, when I'm speaking uplift, when I'm speaking something that is not of suppression, uh, that's when I have the stumbling problem, the stuttering problem, because we live in a world that would feed us um, false. They would feed us things of just gonna put it deception. You say suppression, I say deception.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I say deception
Absolutely.
in every single word or every single sentence,
Word,
and
right.
it's fine because I can't say it enough. We live the world would give us it would make us see flowers and all the pretty colors and stuff when we live in a desolate land. I'm actually going to speak a little bit on mine. Um, I got kicked out at 17 years old. My father told me that I would end up in jail or dead before I graduated high school. I made sure I graduated high school. I graduated early. I ended up having to go to an alternative school. I got a 3.2 GPA, and then about a month later, I was in jail. Never been to college. I actually learned at a young age that learning by yourself, reading different books, so on and so forth, it can help you a lot further than a lot of these schools, colleges, or whatever. I'm not saying that I don't want to go, but I'm pretty sure that in any conversation or any connotation, I'm just as smart as the PhD, the doctorate, the whoever that's out there, because I know just the same words that you know, and that's actually what it becomes is of the words that you can use to put in this context or what you have learned as far as what your trade or skill is. That does not say anything to better me or better them. What it is I've learned to learn. I learned to learn in the world, and so now I'm learning in the Word, the inspired Word of God. Um, so learning these different words, it it's important because just like you said, um, Moses was living with the Pharaoh and his daughter, and they would, in my mind, know that he's not one of them, but they would keep him anyways. And then he did. He killed the Egyptian in order to save the Hebrew. I don't grow up with you, but I feel something and I don't like it. I got to do something. And if I'm not mistaken, like later on when he came to the Hebrews, they would be like, whoa, 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 you gonna kill me too? How you killed that other man? And like, how do you combat? How do you tell people that you're here to help guide them, uplift them, to bring them out of suppression, to bring them out of the world of deception, when you used to be a killer, when you used to be a sinner, when you used to be whatever, and you can't talk right?
Well, you know, of course, I talk in story form. I am the modern age you from parable to story. I know that he kills him because he's trying to protect people who look like him. But then when he's confronted by it, he gets offended to it because the people that he saved want to hold him to who he killed. But I know he's just trying to help. And you've been in this place where you've tried to help somebody who can only see how you hurt other people. I mean, it's not enough that you would defend them, fight for them, that you would get offended by their comment that they made to you. It's that they want to hold you accountable for the actions that somebody hurting them made you do.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about, in reality, this is the dating world today. Is that I date you, but I don't want anybody to look at you. But why you getting mad at me when some other man that look like me or don't look like me is attracted to you, that looks at you, that's just eyeing you? And so he walks away from it thinking he's a hero, but to the Hebrew, he's a murderer. And so when God calls him, it puts gravity on the text, because I'm sure word has already enveloped around Egypt. I mean, it's all in, it's all on the news. It's all in the shops on the billboards. You cannot even go get your hair cut here without hearing about how the Pharaoh's son slew another Egyptian. He can't show his face around there. So it speaks to when God called him to go back there, what his response is. His response is, I can't speak. There's other people that are more destined to me, called than me, greater than me, and then bigger than me, who don't have the criminal record as me. And I got to tell you, many times God calls you to a place where your record won't qualify you, but the calling over God has placed on you will already rectify you through it so that you can go to it and speak to it. But when you get there, know that you will stutter. Absolutely. It's going to be bigger than you. It's going to put you in fear. It's going to trepidate you, but you'll stutter. And he goes to a place where the people, he don't look like them, but they can identify him because he grew up with them. When he gets in front of the king, when he gets in front of the Pharaoh, when he comes to ask or make the request known, this is either his brother or his father. It's people that he grew up with that he can't speak to. And many times you'll find yourself in just this place where I can speak the word around anybody, except for in a place where I'm supposed to be welcome, I feel disgraced. A place where people are supposed to confirm me, I feel confronted. I'm facing battle, fight, struggle, strain. I mean, you done been through the rain in the world, and you come into a dry place, and then they douse you with gasoline and set you on fire. I'm talking about where everybody believes in your dream, but the people that you're building the dream for, you would be suppressive, absolutely, in your speech, because you're suppressed in the streets because you can't stay home and just be at a peaceful place in your home alone with them. And so Moses is in front of them and has to ask for a favor for God, but it comes out of his stammering tongue. And he tells God, I can't go. Send somebody with me, but I can't go. And the reason God didn't just send Aaron and God sent Moses, because you become the message that the arrow points to. Is that they're connected to you, and though they may want to feel big of themselves, is that you are not in anything beyond the arrow, and you're not anything beyond the word. And so you have to connect to somebody that's greater than you, who can see the potential in you, who won't leave you behind. And so if we are connected, we're connected on, this is the word of God. I'll speak it, you point it. You speak it, I'll point it. Is that we stand before a great man, not because we're great, but because of him who develops the word inside of us. So he's in front of the king. Can't say nothing.
That's
This is his daddy. Words won't form.
I'm pretty much in that, because that's how often, how many times have we gone through that? I actually want to speak on it couldn't have been just Aaron, because Aaron didn't stand up to an Egyptian. It couldn't have just been whoever, because Moses had the heart to stand up against anybody who's doing anybody wrong. It didn't necessarily mean or matter if it was the Hebrew or if it was an Egyptian. It was this person is doing this person's wrong, and I need to stand up. We were actually just talking about that. We see somebody on the street nowadays, and we want to pull our phone out. We want to record it instead of calling for help, instead of coming over for the aid of that person. That the Egyptian could have been big, and the Hebrew could have been smaller. The Egyptian could have had a sword, and the Egyptian could have been, I have no weapons. Moses decides to, you know what, I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to stand up for the little people. And that's why Moses has to be the voice, because God only uses the people who are willing to be used, the people who have certain qualities about them. I wouldn't understand why the Lord would be calling me, and trust me, he was calling me, and I didn't even understand. All throughout my sinful worldly days, I would still reach out to people and say, you know, hey, I love you, do you want a hug, or let's talk about things. I would be hurting on the inside, smiling on the outside, trying to help everybody else with their issues when God said, I need to heal you and your issues. So yes, Moses cannot talk because we haven't been in this state to where we know how to say God's words as fluently as we did when we were in the world.
That's good.
Because when I was in the world, I didn't have to think. It was just, hey, BS came to my mouth, to my mind, I'm gonna spit it out because hey, I'm a funny guy. But now it's life or death. I don't want to mess it up, God. So send me with somebody else, somebody who can talk better than I can, somebody who's been in this world a little bit longer than me. And God would say, no. I'm gonna send him with you for understanding, for clarification. But I need for you to say things because you are the one who would stand up for the little man.
That's right.
Aaron's only coming with you because you called him to.
Yeah.
I didn't call Aaron.
Yeah.
You called Aaron.
He came to support you, not to speak for you. And he can't speak for you because you don't even speak for you. I need you to go as a sign of a man who has the record, because Aaron don't have it. But what Aaron has is the stable tongue, where Moses will be kind of like a restrained held shotgun. One can point and one can pull, but at the end of the day, when God is the bullet, is that we're going for the target.
Right.
And so you need to know this. Stand up for everybody who can't stand up for themselves. That it don't matter if there's people around, if you get recorded, if you get if you get praise for it or time for it, that you'll stand up and do what's right. Where's your character in who you are, not in who you should be devoted to because of what they did for you? So he's raised by them, but cannot defend them, because regardless of what the background is, he know they're wrong.
Right.
And then you cannot speak to seeing people who are underprivileged be treated underprivileged by people who are overprivileged and justify it and still be right in the eyesight of God. And a lot of people forfeit their calling because they become selfish and selective and want to be catered to race rather than reason that wrong is wrong and right is right. And when he shows up before him, he can't say anything because he stutters. But God put him in front of the man as a sign that everything I was tripping over, if everything I was stumbling to, everything I would be stagnant in my speech about, that God has brought me to stand and confront. And you can't move on to your next level of destiny until you confront the demons that sit on the throne that you worship. What is it that's calling your time? What is it that calls you to be in a tamed place where God wants you to be untamed in the word? Where is it that God wants you to speak up and you become silent, selective in your suppression of being a stuttering man when I just need to be a God proclaiming man? Aaron has to come with him. But watch this. The people that he's called to set free are on guard, waiting to go, but they can't leave until he gives the sign.
Right.
And it's not until after all the plagues, the death of newborns, that they can walk out. Sometimes it's going to cost you to sacrifice some of you to gain some of them. What do God call you to do that's called to kill your pride, called to kill your self-image, called to kill having to look at you on the camera? What has God called you to do where you get out of you, step out of the way that you say it, the way that you play it, the way you dress in it, and allow God to speak through you, because he'll kill you so he can save people that are not more important, but are just as loved just as you.
Where you would be in a situation where you, still being in the world, you would be blocking some people's blessings or some people's salvation, because you were specifically called to talk to them or to set them free, and you didn't, or I'm shy, or I'm this, or I'm that. Where is it that we would in the world be a spokesperson for Satan, but then when the Lord has showed up and showed out for us, that we would not even hold up a sign and say, God, I am here. To where you wouldn't even walk to the mailbox to check the mailbox for God, but you would
Deliver the mail for the enemy.
Right. You would go above and beyond for the deception and to do certain things to people. But when it comes to helping people, I'm just gonna stand out of the way. I ain't got nothing to do with me. That speaks on like we were saying, the character. It's called integrity. Integrity is doing what is right, even when no one is looking. Because not taking money from someone or treating people with respect, kind, courtesy,
That's right.
that is important. I shouldn't have to record myself every time I'm gonna go give homeless people money. I shouldn't have to write about it or post about it every time I feed the homeless people or give this or do that or open this charity. It should be a thing of that is just period, because I see that these people need help. I shouldn't have to boast about it every time that I have a food bank or whatever and I'm giving food to people, and now I'm telling people I can't do it because y'all ain't did this, y'all ain't did that, or we as a community this and this. We should not have to boast and speak about the things that the Lord has allowed us to do. It is more important, more vital that we learn to live like how Moses did once he realized that it wasn't about him. Once Moses would go in front of, and see, like you said, that there would be people he grew up with. How can you not go in front of the people that you grew up with and be able to talk to them? So we may misinterpret the word as far as I have a speech problem. It may be as far as the speech problem would be my speech problem is every time I try and talk or I want to say these things about God and how to reach salvation and what they're doing is wrong. They want to cut me off. That'd be my speech problem, because they won't allow me to speak, to where it becomes sometimes you just have to show up.
I like that.
If God does not give you a word,
Come on.
just show up, because they will look at you crazy, but know that, hold on, why is he here? Why is he this? And then you leave when the Lord tells you to leave, and then you let God step in from there.